Prasamate's English course for pre-intermediate learners. Today we're going to listen to a conversation between two friends who need help from each other. Their names are Dave and Alex. Let's listen.
Hey dude, can I ask you a favor?
Sure. How can I help?
I wonder if you'd be willing to lend me your history notes. I missed a couple of classes when I was sick, and now I'm totally lost.
Okay, why don't we go to the library and copy my notes, and then go to your place and go over the lessons. I'm acing history this semester, so I'm sure I can get you back on track.
Oh man, that will be a load off my shoulders. Thanks so much.
I'm happy to help. As a matter of fact, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh yeah? Don't tell me you need more advice about your girlfriend.
Well, not exactly. It's that her sister is visiting this weekend, and I need to find her a date. Any chance you'd go out with her on Friday night? The four of us would go out to eat somewhere.
Actually, I already have plans to see a movie with Frank. But how about if I invite her to see a movie with us instead? We could go grab a bite to eat after the movie, but it won't be anything fancy.
That sounds good to me. Let me see what Judy thinks about it, and I'll get back to you ASAP.
Cool. And by the way, thanks again for the help with history. I think I'm on top of it now.
No problem. Don't hesitate to ask if you need any more help.
Thanks, dude. See you later.
The expression "oh yeah" can have different meanings, depending on the intonation. With ascending intonation, from low to high, "oh yeah," it shows interest in what was just said. For example, if someone says, "I'm going to Australia next week," you can show interest by saying, "Oh yeah? What are you going to do there?" Sometimes we say "it's that" or "it's just that" before an explanation of something just mentioned or questioned. It shows that the speaker expects the listener to understand and accept the explanation. For example, if a teacher asks, "Why didn't you finish your homework?" a student might answer, "I'm sorry, it's just that I was sick." A date can be an appointment between two people. It is often used to describe an appointment between two people who are romantically interested in each other. For example, "What are you doing Friday night?" "I have a date with Tim. He invited me to have dinner with him." Totally means completely, 100% or very. For example, you could say, "I totally finished my homework," or "That party was totally awesome, dude." To be willing means to accept participation in an activity. For example, "Are you willing to study every day?" "Yes, I'm willing to study every day." We can also use the negative to say we won't do something. For example, "I'm not willing to study every day." The expression "back on track" means to be back to normal. For example, "I was really depressed after my divorce, but I'm getting my life back on track now." To be on top of it means to fully understand something or to be able to do something. For example, "The math course is hard, but I think he's on top of it." Or, "There was a lot to learn in my new job, but now I'm on top of it." The expression "a load off my shoulders" means a big relief from responsibility or worry. For example, after finishing a big project, you could say, "That's a load off my shoulders." Sometimes we add the adjective "big" to show that it is a big relief. For example, "I got into Chulalongkorn. That's a big load off my shoulders." To miss can mean not to be able to attend an event or participate in an activity. For example, if you couldn't go to a meeting, you could say, I'm sorry I missed the meeting. Or if a student was sick and they couldn't go to school for 3 days, you could say, he missed 3 days of school. To go can mean to move from here or there to another place. For example, I'm going to the airport tonight. To come can mean to move from there to here. For example, I'm coming to work early tomorrow. Or if your friend lives in another city, you can ask, when are you coming to Bangkok? Sometimes we say go over to emphasize that the movement from one place to another is short. For example, I'm going over to my neighbor's house. Or, can you come over? I'm lonely. To go over can also mean to read or review something to understand or remember it better. For example, you should go over your notes before the test. The expression to ace means to get a very good grade. For example, if you do very well on a test, you could say, I aced the test. Fancy is an adjective which describes something elegant or luxurious. Fancy things are usually more expensive too. For example, she's wearing a very fancy dress. Or, to describe a luxurious hotel, you could say, this hotel is so fancy. We often use any chance to ask informally if something is possible or true. For example, if you want someone to go over something for you, you could ask, any chance you could go over this for me? Or, if you found a bag and you want to ask someone if it belongs to him or her, you could say, any chance this is your bag? We can use the expression, how about if, to offer a suggestion for action. For example, if you want to suggest going to the beach with your family, you could ask, how about if we all go to the beach? The expression, I'll get back to you, means you will contact a person. It's often used when someone wants information from you, but you don't have the information yet. For example, if your boss asks you, what are the sales figures for this month? You could answer, I don't have them yet. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. ASAP means as soon as possible. We use ASAP when something needs to be done quickly. For example, I have no money. I need to find a job ASAP. Or, you look extremely ill. You should go to the hospital ASAP. Instead is used to talk about a replacement for something. It is placed after the word that is the replacement. For example, it's raining, we can't go to the beach. Let's go to the cinema instead. We could also use instead of before the thing being replaced. For example, let's go to the cinema instead of going to the beach. We can use the expression by the way to introduce a new topic or to change the topic during a conversation. For example, if you're talking about your job but you want to talk about something different, you could say, yes, I like my new job. By the way, have you seen John today? We can say don't hesitate to show that you are available for someone. For example, when speaking to customers, we often say, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. This is a polite way to say you are willing to help.
Hi everyone, it's time to talk about pronunciation. In order to use contractions correctly, you need to know how to pronounce them. We often use the word is, but sometimes it has an S sound and sometimes it has a Z sound. Listen to these contractions. Can you hear S or Z? It's, theirs, he's, she's, that's. When S comes after a voiceless sound, P, K, T, F, PH, or TH, it sounds like S. But if it comes after a voice sound or a vowel, it sounds like Z. So, the contraction it's and that's are pronounced with an S sound
because the S comes after T, a voiceless sound. Listen again. It's. That's. But the contraction theirs, he's, and she's are pronounced with a Z sound because the S comes after the vowel sound. Remember, when you pronounce the Z sound, you should feel your vocal cords vibrate. Let's practice speaking and feel your vocal cords at the same time. Just place your index finger and thumb at the crook of your neck like so. Theirs, he's, she's. Now, let's practice some of the contractions in a sentence. Repeat after me. It's a sunny day. One more time. It's a sunny day. He's my boss. Again, he's my boss. There's a dog in the classroom. And one more time. There's a dog in the classroom. Great. Another word you've often heard is are, as in you're, we're, and they're. In these contractions, the RE sound is made by curling your tongue back. Let's practice together. You're, we're, they're. Now let's practice some of the contractions in a sentence. Repeat after me. You're my best friend. Again. You're my best friend. They're all teachers. Again. They're all teachers. We're going to be late. One more time. We're going to be late. Good job. Practice makes perfect. Remember to practice using contractions whenever you can.
In spoken English, we often use contractions. We already learned that their is can be contracted to theirs. In past lessons, we learned that I would can be contracted to I'd, and must not can be contracted to mustn't. Contractions help us to speak more quickly, and if you want to speak English like a native speaker, you should practice using contractions whenever you can. The verb to be is often contracted with the pronoun. I am becomes I'm. You are becomes your. We are becomes we're. They are becomes their. He is becomes he's. She is becomes she's. And it is becomes its. Here are some examples. Instead of saying, I am a teacher, try to say, I'm a teacher. Instead of saying, you are handsome, try to say, you're handsome. Instead of saying, it is very hot, try to say, it's very hot. We also often use contractions for negative sentences that use not. Note that when we have the verb to be and not, we usually contract to be and not. The exceptions to this is I am not. We usually say I'm not. But if we use is or are, we contract these with not. For example, she is not becomes she isn't, and they are not becomes they aren't.
Hey, dude, can I ask you a favor?
Sure, how can I help?
I wonder if you'd be willing to lend me your history notes. I missed a couple of classes when I was sick, and now I'm totally lost.
Okay, why don't we go to the library and copy my notes, and then go to your place and go over the lessons? I'm acing history this semester, so I'm sure I can get you back on track.
Oh, man. That will be a load off my shoulders. Thanks so much.
I'm happy to help. As a matter of fact, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh, yeah? Don't tell me you need more advice about your girlfriend.
Well, not exactly. It's that her sister is visiting this weekend, and I need to find her a date. Any chance you'd go out with her on Friday night? The four of us would go out to eat somewhere.
Actually, I already have plans to see a movie with Frank. But how about if I invite her to see a movie with us instead? We could go grab a bite to eat after the movie, but it won't be anything fancy.
That sounds good to me. Let me see what Judy thinks about it, and I'll get back to you ASAP.
Cool. And by the way, thanks again for the help with history. I think I'm on top of it now.
No problem. Don't hesitate to ask if you need any more help.
Thanks, dude. See you later.
Contractions are an important part of the English language. Today we learned how to pronounce S when we contract the word is. Remember, when S comes after a voiceless sound, P, K, T, F, PH, or TH, it sounds like S. But if it comes after a voice sound or a vowel, it sounds like Z. Also make sure to curl your tongue to pronounce your, we're, and their. Make sure to keep practicing your pronunciation.